The funny thing about what is up with that is some people ask, like, is it what's up with that or what up with that? If I could travel back in time and give myself advice before my first SNL audition, wear a diaper. I'm just kidding. It'll be fine, you know what I mean? Just, believe in what's gotten you there to that point. But that would have gone in and out of one ear, and you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't have listened to myself even then, because it was just like so much at stake. SNL is no joke, and to me, it didn't seem like I would have more than one opportunity to try out. Like if I blew it, that was just gonna be it. So I would try to calm myself down, but it wouldn't work. It is a life-changing kind of thing, and at the same time, I had to do stand-up for the first time for this life-changing moment. But at the same time, there was a little bit of, I got this, a little bit, but it wasn't much. The character or line that fans ask me to do or say the most, well, I think they say it to me is, what's up with that? A lot of people go, what's up with that? It's good for, passing kind of conversation. What's up with that? What's up with that? All right, yeah. Hog, hog.
What's up with that? What's up with that? What's up with that?
What is the key to writing a breakout SNL song? I think it depends on the topicalness of it, topicalness. How current, I guess, the idea is. It's got a kind of, Venn diagram of something that, people have been wanting, as well as, something that's right below the surface that they're just not, fully predicting, and then, you have a nice reveal of what it is. Now, I feel like that comeback Barack, was kind of like exactly what people were thinking, but they didn't know they needed the musical version. You know what I mean?
Come back, Barack. Even though it's not allowed, we want you back somehow. I need you in my life.
How long does it take me to fall asleep after a show? A while. It takes a while to wind down from that adrenaline, because it's been, kind of building all day on Saturday. Like, we going at noon, and like once you're at 30 Rock, you feel it. You know it's Saturday. I mean, there's no leaving until the show is done. You know what I'm saying? So there's no getting off the roller coaster. And yeah, it takes, at least an hour or so, or two maybe, to just, calm down, settle down, either cry or pat yourself on the back, whatever it is, and then, off to bed you go. I'm a huge fan of The Price is Right, and I love the Cliffhanger song, but Plinko, I think, is the ultimate.
Fourth chip. $10,000.
My God, what is going on? Oh, or yay! Plinko, man. I mean, because it graduated into the wall now, hello. It's a great conceptual thing to watch. Well, I mean, I think the SNL host that surprised me the most was Charles Barkley, just because he continues to just have a good time with whatever he's doing. The main quote I've taken away from him after all of the run-ins over the years is, I never worked more than 2 hours. You know what I'm saying? Because when he was growing up, practice was 2 hours, games are 2 hours, and he just keeps that mentality rolling. So even in his announcement career, he's broadcasting over games, which is 2 hours, you know what I'm saying? And that's how he lives his life. I'm like, man, that's beautiful. That's the secret to that no stress look that he has all the time. I have several pre-show rituals before going live. One of the main ones is I sing the warm-up. I mean, it's not necessarily my ritual, it's kind of the show's ritual. Just a thing to get the audience, in the mood to receive talent in a bunch of different ways, I guess, so it's kind of forced karaoke a little bit, but they enjoy it. And, just going over everything a million different times, basically, and double checking. Like, I don't, look over the shoulders of, my departments necessarily, because I trust them at this point. But in the beginning, I was like trying to make sure I had, my clothes straight, or, a hat, or, everything just lined up for whatever, sketches I had that night. It wasn't a lot in the beginning. So I had to make sure I got at least that right. All systems go. One thing I think people will be surprised to learn about Lorne is that he's actually very gentle. He's a gentle giant, you know what I mean? He's a titan of industry, of course, but he's a very humble dude, and he's got his feet on the ground, and he wants to help out his fellow man. I told a story, I was walking, we have these host dinners on Tuesday nights, and he'd like, sometimes when the weather's nice, he'll walk from 30 Rock to a restaurant and back or something. So I walked with him one time. This homeless guy was just like, can you help me out? You know, I'm trying to find a mission or something, blah, 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 and I could really use $1. And I was like, man, I don't have any cash. And Lorne was like, yeah, no problem. Opens his wallet and gives the guy $100. Mind you, that's all he had was a wad of $100. But he gave him one, you know, he wasn't like, oh, I got only 100, so I gotta go make some change. Like, he didn't do that. He just slid him one and like, didn't think twice about it. Like, we kept it moving. Like, we were in the middle of a conversation and he kept talking and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, God bless you, this and that and the other. So I found that to be like very sweet. Well, to be in the same sentence as Phil is, you know, always incredible. You know, I met him once and I feel like, I don't even know if it was a dream or not because it was on an airplane, you know what I mean? So it was like in the clouds and like everybody, you know, kind of got up and was like, schmoozing around a little, like, it was first class. I'll go ahead and say it. We were schmoozing around the first class area of the cabin, okay, and people wanted to talk to each other. And he came over to me and Kel, I think we were promoting Good Burger at the time. He was just like, man, I'm such a fan of you guys. And we were just like, please stop, because, you know, you're one of the GOATs, you know, that's ever done it as far as straight delivery being really, really funny, like, you know, the Leslie Nielsen's and the, you know, the dry delivery or whatever, but Phil had like a charisma to it as well as like a physical level that was just unmatched. And he felt like everybody's dad, you know, and to be compared to that kind of a feeling for other people, it's amazing because it has to be a warm thing. So, you know, if people come around me and they feel warmth or they feel security or they feel like somebody's got their back, you know, that's such a pleasure to give that. Lately, it's been Broadway. My one day off of SNL kind of go-to unwinding relaxation thing has been catching a Broadway show. I recently came to terms with the fact that I have not taken advantage of my New York experience living there for 19 years now. And, you know, I've seen some things, you know, it's very sporadic or whatever, but I never overly, you know, went out of my way to make sure that I was like seeing a bunch of, you know, musicals and stuff like that. And recently embraced it, and I've seen a lot of like, you know, plays and musicals lately, and man, those people never disappoint. They're so talented and they work so hard. Yeah, it reinvigorates me to go into the next week to be like, oh no, don't get lazy, you know what I'm saying? Don't get complacent or any of that, or don't think you work hard, because in comparison, I don't know if you really do. Straight up, shout out to Broadway. I know the theater life, you know, I grew up doing theater and stuff like that, so I don't know. It would have to be something like really close to home or like really powerful for me to feel like I could climb that mountain of doing a 6 to 9, 10-month engagement, you know, 8 shows a week, kind of sporadic break kind of thing. That's a lot, you know what I mean? That's a lot of working out to get to that level even, you know what I mean? A lot of people get famous and then they run to Broadway thinking that, okay, I can just do it because, you know, I have acted before, but it's like, no, you need to act, choreograph, like do choreography, sing, arrange, and you know how to carry those notes and not lose your breath and stay on. It's, man, what? And remember lines on top of all of that, and blocking, and you know, participating with your fellow actors on stage as well, and just being aware, not falling off the stage. Yeah, bro, I respect it, but yeah, I could skip that. What's an impression I would never do again? That's a tough one. I don't know if I've ever like offended anybody to the point where I would like never do it again. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if I pushed anybody's button. Everybody is pretty friendly. So that one I don't know if I necessarily like hate any impression necessarily or need to archive anything in any specific way, I guess. Wow, I just thought about Cosby. But at the same time, I don't know if I would never do it again because we did do Cosby in jail. So if it's like a way to make it make sense and not bum people out, then probably we'll do it or something. But the sketch I am proudest of, I mean, no disrespect, but I love Scared Straight so much because it was the first kind of self-generated thing, you know what I mean, that I got on the show. You know, I had, you know, been kind of writing and offering ideas for years, and this was like my 5th season, basically. Still haven't gotten, you know, one from the old noggin on there yet, basically, and that one was like close to home because, you know, I grew up with those movies and stuff like that. And, you know, I mean, I identify with black guys in jail and being upset about it and like that, and like want to come down on the youth like, what the you doing in here? So that one always made me very happy to do. But, you know, What's Up With That, Black Jeopardy, Family Feud, you know, all of them, like they're all my babies, and like you want them all to go well. And I feel like the ultimate is between What's Up With That and Black Jeopardy, but, you know, personally, Scared Straight has a special place in my heart.
My name is Lorenzo McIntosh.
And I'm his grandmother, Loretta McIntosh.
But you can call us your wedding day, because you're going to get something old, something new.
Something black and something blue.
I mean, one cast member I really wish I had had the chance to work with, it's probably Tracy. Like, that guy makes me laugh so much. Been like a very close big brother, this whole kind of experience. And I've never witnessed anybody more naturally hilarious, like just off the top of his head at any given hour, any given setting, you know what I'm saying? It's just his mentality, basically. And that boy says wild things, and it's really, hilarious, but he's got a heart of gold. He's always, had a kind of a big brother thing for me, very protective, or one to like, give me knowledge and stuff like that. So to witness him in a work environment would have been a lot of fun. He's one of those guys that you just got to start writing when he talks, you know what I'm saying? Because he'll never come back to that idea again. He's just spitfiring, you know what I'm saying? So it's on you to like grab these things and then hold them and then reintroduce them to the world. But man, he's such a joy to be around. I want to say there's some sketches that would work from all that would work on SNL. I mean, I feel like Pierre Escargot could work, like even if he slid out, on the update desk or something like that in the tub or something like that, that could be funny. I mean, I want to say Good Burger would work in a way, like just a bunch of, the adult version or something like that, like adults having to work at Good Burger or whatever that version would be. Yeah, I mean, I think, a lot of the like interstitial kind of straight to camera things remind me of early Weekend Update when they were doing like Rosanna, Dana, and like those very like straight to camera without anybody's help. Loud Librarian, or, Amanda when she was, the angry little girl like yelling about it. Ask Ashley. Yeah, Ask Ashley. I think those kind of things would work because it's a talent showcase, and that's what SNL is. It's like, here are the people we think is funny, go. And, America usually tends to agree. The craziest thing I've seen at an after party, it wasn't necessarily crazy, but it was crazy awesome, if that counts. Maya Rudolph just performed at the finale, and she has a Prince cover band that she like travels around with. So she brought out Wendy and Lisa from Prince's band and performed like for like an hour and a half and destroyed it. And it's in the ice skating rink, there's no more ice, so it's just like a roller skating rink now, that's what it is. But it's like underneath 30 Rock, one of the tallest buildings ever, the golden statue. It was just like, yo, this is a magical moment. Yes. It's pretty similar. Disturbed, kind of like side-eye squinting. Yeah, we used to do that, like, your fault. The one cast member I would want to return for my final show question was answered when Eddie Murphy hosted, so now I have to think. Like, I've worked with Will Ferrell because he's hosted. He was another one where I was just like, I would just love to, but that's happened a few times. I haven't met Sherry yet. I think Sherry O'Terry would be very cool to be around, and every woman I've ever met from SNL is insanely quick-witted, funny, smart, classy, gorgeous, like all of it. You know what I mean? It's just a pleasure usually to be around them. So I would love to meet Sherry, I think. My go-to strategy is to keep from breaking is to allow the smirk to happen. Just allow a little acknowledgement of this is funny and then plow through, basically. So you'll see, it makes me laugh. You'll see people like genuinely smile at something because they're like amused, and there's nothing more humane than those moments. I think that's, what everybody's always watching. Like, of course we're watching for the biggest version of that, where everybody starts laughing and crying and can't get through it. But also any kind of break in it is just as enjoyable.
This court is adjourned.
Who is someone that is behind the scenes in SNL that deserves the spotlight more than they get? I would say the entire crew, because the entire crew is, the blood in the veins of that human, experience, I think. Every department, from production to, the guys lifting the walls, you know what I'm saying? Like, They're all mandatory, you know, they're all special. I think they all appreciate the place, you know. I think, you know, I'm lucky to be of the generation where most of us, you know, I would say 95% of the people working there are fans of it, you know what I mean? So we're coming into it with, you know, a very, you know, gracious approach as opposed to, you know, a you're welcome kind of attitude. Like, I think everybody's pretty humble around there. So yeah, I'm gonna give it to the crew for sure. Well, the funny thing about what is up with that is some people ask, like, is it what's up with that or what up with that? And I'm like, it's both, because sometimes you're just so nervous you're not paying attention to, like, being specific enough in the moment. So, like, whatever I ended up saying in the moment was just what I said. So I think in the title is what's up with that, but the original where it came from was from the 25th Hour, when the guy that says in every movie, his sidekick, and they were, you know, interrogating Ed Norton, and he was like, and then you went over to this other school and got kicked out of one school, and then you went and sold drugs at this other school. And he was like, yeah, what up with that? Love that, Sam.